Today, I'm going to a really interesting, mayhaps even strange, tournament here in Chicago. It's located at Replay Lincoln Park, a well-known arcade bar on the north side of the city. Replay does these awesome themes where the bar is decorated with cool structures, statues, and artwork. This time around, the theme is Stranger Things, but they've done stuff like SpongeBob, Shrek, and countless others before. Getting there is a mini adventure. It's about an hour commute on the bus and train from where I live. You might be thinking to yourself, why doesn't Anthony Idaho just drive there? Well, I don't have a driver's license. But this is my year, trust me, this time is for real. Here's what the venue looks like from the outside. Pretty standard Chicago building with quirky artwork sprinkled around. Now here's how the venue looks like on the inside. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you'll definitely recognize these monsters and structures scattered around. That Demogorgon is like twice my height, but low-key that's not saying much. Oh shit, is that Vecna? You know I had to flick up with him real quick. Brackets should be starting pretty soon. There's 31 entrants today, which is pretty good for a 7-year-old game. That's our organizer, Swivel. He runs this tournament every Monday despite not getting paid for it at all. He does it simply for the love of the game. Let's go. By the way, this guy is just like casually a world-class magician. He's traveled to hella different countries to do magic, and has even been featured in a video by Charlie Moist Critical. Anyway, it's time for the tournament to officially begin. I have a bye, so I'll be waiting for a second. I'm taking that time to do some intense meditation. Okay, I'm ready. Usually for my round 1, I like to mess around and go characters other than my main Link. Today, I'm gonna leave my character choice in the hands of my good pal Lance.
Lance, who should I go for my round 1?
Just pick Roy.
Alright,
Got
Roy?
the swordies? Got the Link?
I got you,
Roy.
I got you.
Roy!
Lucky for me, my Roy actually kind of fucks. Game 1, my opponent went me Brawler, and I took the game only losing 1 stock. Game 2, I got this pretty silly down air to take the stock, then finished off his Falco with the cannonball to his. With that, I win my first round 2-0. It's pretty common at tournaments to have to wait a good while before your next set. I like to take this time to start scoping out the competition. Coming into this tournament, there are 2 players I'm particularly wary of. One of them plays Palutena, while the other one is a Ryu Kenko main. They also happen to be twin brothers. These players are Pain Shane and Lance T. Now technically, I am the only player in this venue that has been and is currently ranked in Chicago. That does not mean I can sleep and breeze through this tournament though. Pain Shane has been on the come up this year. Most notably, Shane got 49th out of 686 players at Get On My Level and S+ tier Super Major. Here he defeated Tarla, a top 10 King DDD in the world and ranked number 10 in Quebec, to make it out of Pool's winner's side. He then proceeded to defeat D-Money, a top 10 Incineroar in the world, and ranked number 3 in Wisconsin, earning him a spot in top 64 at his first major. Even more notably, he beat me last time we played. His twin brother Lance boasts a strong understanding of fighting game fundamentals. Lance is currently ranked number 10 in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, and actually had a run of his own at Get On My Level. Except his was in Street Fighter 6, where he placed 49th out of 221. Not to glaze too hard, but I can't imagine juggling 2 games at once. Okay, enough talking about these guys, it's time for my next round. My second opponent was a Daisy player, which is a matchup I think Link does weirdly well in. I eviscerated his second stock with Link's forbidden move, Dash Attack. Game 1 ended with a clean 3 stock from me. Game 2 was much more competitive, with us trading stocks back and forth. He was actually cooking me toward the end, but I managed to stop him before he made a full comeback. With that, there's another 2-0 to make top 8. Pain-Shin and Lance made it to winner's side top 8 without either of them dropping any games. Winner's side top 8 consists of Lance versus a Pokemon trainer named 86 Mercy, and me versus Pain-Shane. I'm excited at the chance to get my run back on Shane, so I want to play him as soon as possible. However, a good player knows that a set starts before the 2 of you even sit down. While I wait for my set against Shane, I have to come up with a basic game plan I can work off of. Link vs Palutena is generally considered one of his worst matchups, but I'm one of the few believers that think it's actually not that bad for Link. There's a lot of reasons why the matchup is rough for Link though. One of the biggest issues is that Palutena's neutral air is really good versus Link. Link is a character that thrives off jumping due to his equally, if not more, broken neutral air. Palutena Nair is really good at catching Link's jumps due to how disjointed the move is and it being a multi-hit move. If both Nairs are out in the air, Palutena's will almost always beat Link's out, making it really risky to be in the air at all with Link's best tool being taken away from him. Not to mention, Link is genuinely the most perfect character to combo due to his weight and height. Getting clipped by any hit of Palu's Nair means I'm eating at least 60% or just straight up dying. Some of the other issues Palu gives Link are having a reflector, being really fast on the ground so projectiles become risky to use at times, she juggles Link really well with her up air, she can be difficult to kill off stage due to her teleport, and she has a really strong burst option with dash attack when Link does not have any good burst option. These are all important factors to consider, but by far the best thing I can do is play around Palutena's Nair like my life depends on it, because it does. This means I won't really be approaching directly with jump-ins like I typically could. I have to try my best to keep my feet on the ground and only jump to swat her out of the air before her Nair even comes out. For the most part, I'm going to be player 2 in this matchup, using my movement to bait her to Nair, then punishing her for it. I can't freely commit to projectiles or laggy moves because she's fast enough to punish me hard. Well, it's time for us to play. Immediately, I'm dash dancing a little far from him to see if he lets a Nair rip. However, I accidentally overshoot and get caught by a Nair, exactly what I was trying to avoid. Unfortunately, Shane does take the first stock with a clean back air to my cranium. I then make the mistake of thinking I was far enough to boomerang, and absolutely eat shit for it. This is what I'm talking about. The very last hit of Nair hit me, and now I'm on the fucking Shane train taking 53%. I end up taking the stock, we then trade stocks, and suddenly it's an even 1 stock apiece. At this point in the game, I've started to become more confident in walling Shane out, pelting him with boomerang along with bullying him horizontally. I hit my signature combo, yes, my signature combo called the Icy as Hell. You will refer to it as such. Game 1 is mine. Game 2, I'm sticking to the same plan, but I'm still not as precise in my movements as I should be. I get this epic bomb kill on Shane, but he retaliates immediately, killing me off stage. Even if I had not missed that bomb recovery, Shane had already covered it with his up smash, which would have slimed me out. Shane puts me in the corner, I'm fighting for my life, and I do the absolute worst double jump back air of my life, leaving me off stage helpless. My only option here is to blow myself up to recover, but I know Shane wants an up smash to kill me. I try to go low, and unfortunately I get stuck under the stage. Pretty sure that was checkmate, so good for him. Shane takes game 2. After that disappointing loss, I was super locked in. No more mistakes, keep your feet on the ground, and wait for Shane to make a move. I'm low-key playing like a bitch, but I kinda have to. I can't risk getting hit by a Nair. This last stock, you can see I'm playing from a very safe distance, just moving around him to scare him. I wait for him to get antsy and take the game once he does. I think I've got Shane fully downloaded. He's getting very overwhelmed given he's having trouble landing Nairs on me now. I've also caught onto his jump habit from the corner. I've gathered so much information throughout the set, I now know exactly when he wants to swing, which makes it very easy for me to intimidate him. I end the set with a sick ledge trump conversion. Onto winners finals I go. On the other side of winners semifinals, Lance is dominating the set, forcing 86 Mercy off Pokemon Trainer and onto Roy. Lance finishes the set off with a clean 3-1 finish. Before I continue with the video, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, please. I put a lot of effort into learning how to edit for this video, so if you want to see more, subscribing would be the way to tell me. Thank you. I once again have to sit down and think to myself, how am I going to approach this set? Between Ken and Ryu, Ryu definitely does a better job against Link. Ryu has much stronger projectiles than Ken, which is really good for controlling the pace of a match. Ken is a lot faster and might hit harder than Ryu in terms of combos, but against Link, pure aggression is not enough to get the job done. Due to their stubby moves, Link is really good at keeping both Ken and Ryu out with his projectiles and sword. Ryu being able to take a step back and take it slow helps mix up his gameplay a lot more, making him the better choice. Also, Ken's fire does this. Ryu is a character that you do not want to be scrapping with up close. His grounded frame data is way better than Link's, and getting hit by any of these moves could mean death for me. This means I want to avoid up close fights as much as possible. If Lance decides to jump in and hit my shield, it's in my best interest to just disengage and reset my position. The better you get as a player, the more you understand you don't have to fight every fight. If I choose my battles wisely, I should be able to avoid getting steamrolled by Ryu's oppressive buttons. All in all, I think Link does decently against Ryu. This is yet another matchup where I can't risk jumping in freely, since putting myself right next to Ryu at any point in time is not ideal. I do have to be very cautious of Ryu's jump-ins, since his neutral air stays out for a long time covering himself on the way down. If this hits me or my shield, that could be dangerous. In order to minimize Ryu's opportunities to land any hits on me, I'm going to be playing from the mid-range and long range for the most part. It's time for me and Lance to play our set. Right off the bat, I throw my entire inventory at him, but Lance is not phased. I make the mistake of pulling a boomerang too close to Lance and face the consequences. Strong start from Lance. I start evening the percentages out, putting Lance in a pretty bad spot in the corner. However, 2 of my moves back to back decided to simply just not work, and I paid the price for it with a back air to my face. It's okay though, I guess, because I'm the GOAT, and it took the stock shortly after anyway. Lance took my second stock with a nice roll read, auto turnaround by the way, then I hit him with this nasty edgeguard sequence bro could not make it back to stage. Just like that, we are both on our last stocks. Both of us get to a pretty high percent. This is anybody's game now. Unfortunately for him, Lance gets a little greedy trying to kill me with down tilt Shoryu. My up smash decides to work this time to my surprise, and game 1 is mine. Despite winning game 1, I feel that I'm not doing a good enough job sticking to my game plan. I still find myself randomly jumping in on Lance, and when he's up close, I'm scrapping with him opposed to retreating. As a competitor, theory crafting is a very important skill, but if you can't actively implement these ideas into your game plan, prepare to lose. This is what separates the coaches from the players, the art teachers from the artists, and the Smash commentators from the ranked players. I'm kidding. That being said, Lance kinda bullies me this game, and gets his hype moments and aura spike on me to win the game. Moving on to game 3, I absolutely outplay Lance to get the first stop. Yep, that's what that is. I've definitely cleaned up my game plan since the last game. Lance can't really touch me right now, and he's having a really hard time getting ledge trapped. He gets me to last stock, but I hit him with the Skyward Sword up his rectum to take the game. I came into game 4 with a lot of confidence, immediately vaporizing Lance's first stock with a crazy ledge sequence. I rack up a bit more damage, put Lance in the corner, and finally end this game with a 4. Wait, he's not dead yet! This dude will not give up. He actually starts beating my ass, and suddenly we are both at kill percentage. Yes, he's at 163% and I'm at 78%, but he has full rage. I'm practically a tickle away from dying. His resilience is impressive, but also terrifying. I genuinely find myself mashing kill moves hoping he'll run into them. Surely the third up tilt will hit, and finally, this time for real, I take the set with a very cool and calculated maneuver. It's been a long and hard-fought battle, but I am now finally in Grand Finals. I think we all deserve to take a breather. Let's take a visit to my happy place for a few seconds. Okay, now that your dopamine receptors have been reset, it's time for Grand Finals! On the loser side of bracket, Shane fights his way to Losers Finals where he would meet his twin brother, Lance. Funnily enough, their set record up until this day was a very close 9-10, with Shane having a 1-set lead over his brother. The twins fought mercilessly trying to destroy the other, going to a whopping Game 5. Then, this happened.
Actually dead. Oh my god. I can't believe that. That is so...
Lance has evened up the set count 10-10 and now faces me in Grands. Full transparency, this video has taken me way longer than I expected, and I'm sure you're getting tired too listening to me yap. So let's make this Grand Finals quick and epic. I skillfully fall out of Lance's down tilt combo and steal game 1 with a raw up B to his face. Lance, as persistent as he is, does not let me steamroll him and takes game 2 with the concussion-inducing back air. Game 3 is last hit, with Lance catching me trying to jump out the corner, going up 2-1 over me in the set. Hold on, he could actually win this. I lock in and retaliate by taking a convincing game 4. It's game 5 time. I take the first stock by forcing Lance to self-destruct with my sheer menacing aura. I've spent 2 sets fighting Lance now, a total of 9 games up until now. It's time to capitalize on all the information that I've been gathering. Lance has had a really hard time breaking through my wall of slashes and projectiles. By the time he takes the first stock, I've already gotten an insane amount of extra credit, even lapping him a whole stock. Lance, being who he is though, manages to even up the stocks to 1-1. I might be at 0%, but this is Smash Ultimate. This is anyone's game, and both of us understand that. In situations like these, you as a competitor have to be able to keep a collected mind. The game plan has not changed. I've also maintained an ace in my pocket, something I've yet to cash out on. Once I have Lance at ledge, I calmly walk back and forth. It's finally time to show my trump card. I've learned throughout the set that Lance, and for that matter, a lot of Ryus, love to jump out of the corner with an aerial in an attempt to land their devastating combo starter. However, because I'm walking, I'm completely actionable. I'm able to react to his jump in, shutting down his approach with a hard-hitting forward tilt to his body. With that, I finally won the Strangest tournament to grace Smash Bros. If you've watched this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really put all I could into it. Again, if you want to see more, subscribe as I plan to keep making long-form videos. Otherwise, make sure to check out my shorts. I also work hard on those. Thank you.